Welcome back, everybody, to the Northeast Corridor. I am Preston Rabb, alongside my partner, AJ Gonsalves. We were supposed to have a guest on tonight, but he did not show up. So, it's just going to be us again today, AJ.
Yeah, and I'm excited for it, man. We got a lot to talk about.
A lot to talk about. We got the MLB, which we were going to be talking about most of the time. March Madness is basically over in our minds because our brackets are toast. No $1 billion for each of us. So, another year of me being a normal citizen, not a rich person living in Montana.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. But first off, how are you, Preston?
I'm doing
always
absolutely.
like to check in with you.
I'm doing great. Life's going well,
Good. It's good.
Life's been getting better, the year's almost ending, Summer's right around the corner. First year's almost over. It's not saying I want to end college quick, you got to enjoy the moments, but having a great time. Just enjoying this last last week or two. How about you, AJ? How about you?
Everything's been going great,
I know some reasons why it's been going great, but we can.
I mean that's more off air. The Red Sox certainly are, taking me back to some darker places, but outside of that, I am really enjoying my year here at Arizona State. Winding down, things are getting a little, not necessarily tougher, but dialed in. We're focused 100%.
Yeah.
And I've been focusing on baseball, too. So I have plenty to talk about tonight here on the Northeast Corridor, where Boston and New York go head-to-head. And we got a lot this week to go head-to-head about.
We have a ton to go ahead about. As happened this weekend, opening day was last Thursday. Some records were broken, some shocks around the majors, some, I guess you can say, some scandals going on. So to say, if people being
I love a good scandal.
Different rules.
Oh it's about the bats.
Baseball. The first week of this season has been very enjoyable compared to last season.
I agree,
and I think it's been great. We'll start off opening day. Great opening day. It was great. Yankees went 1-0. Boston, they won their first game so far.
Things look shaky there at the end with your new acquisition, Devin Williams.
Devin Williams also on the paternity leave, or whatever it's called right now. His wife just had or girlfriend, if they're married or not, they just had a kid.
Well, that's a real excuse. Yeah, he can leave your team.
Maybe he can calm down now. He has a kid. He doesn't have to worry about the child. Maybe he was worried about the child. Pregnancy is very scary. So he's just worried for his significant other.
He'll pitch better.
Now he's a kid. He's gonna
have the father aura now, right?
And we can talk about some father and some aura in a second, but let's talk about these torpedo bats.
Sure.
Taking the majors by storm. First seen on, I believe it was the day the Yankees dropped 20 runs against the Brewers. And that actually, I believe I'm not wrong, it's the most runs scored in the first series by one team in a game was 20.
That's a good stat, Preston. Very good.
The Yankees were the first team to drop 20 runs in a game in the first series. Throughout the entire series. They dropped 36 runs the entire series. And actually, they just broke a record today, hitting the most home runs in the first 4 games, which is 17, broken by the 06, I believe, Tigers, which was 16.
Very good stuff. Coming prepared.
I am prepared.
Ladies and gentlemen, Preston Rabb.
Yankees might have lost, but they won in my heart. Mark Leiter Jr., get yourself on a plane, get out of New York. You are a horrible relief pitcher. I don't know why Boone didn't take you out. I believe Luke Weaver could have just got in there, and you've seen Eugenio Suarez playing so far this year. Yes, only 5 of his hits are home runs, and that's his only hits so far this year. He is a power hitter. That's a great hitter for Diamondbacks, and I'm excited to see him play the rest of the year. I think it'll be a great position in Diamondbacks. But let's talk about the torpedo bats. What we were getting into before we got into
hold that other stuff.
I know there's so much going on, folks, that I could talk about this for hours. But we've only got about
Preston's
24 minutes.
You're all intense tonight, man.
I know, I'm having a great night.
We got the energy tonight. Wow, I love it.
So much energy.
Love it.
So the torpedo bats are basically the bat is being the barrel of the wood, the most part of the biggest part of the bat, the barrel, is being moved to a place now where hitters hit better at. So Anthony Volpe on his bat hits more by the logo, which is his Victus logo. So if you know the Victus bats, the logos are very low. So he moved more of the mass of the bat to there, and it evens out the other half of the bat at the end. Now people are like, this isn't fair. We believe, this is not making someone really a good hitter. In my mind, it can be whatever you want. You either can be good with this bat, and I'm not saying anyone that just does this torpedo effect, changing any size of any part of the barrel on the bat to a specific area.
I was going to say it was a coincidence when Anthony Volpe was hitting home runs. Yeah, I knew something was up.
Anthony Volpe just hit his 3rd home run actually today. It was a solo shot, and the Yankees were they were down 2-2. He tied the game 2-2 earlier in the 4th.
It looks good. What are your thoughts on the torpedo bats, man?
I honestly think the torpedo bats I think they're fine. I don't believe it's going to change the entire game of baseball significantly. Yes, there are people using it now. It's all over the league. Marlins, Yankees, Cardinals, Braves. You name the team, they probably have the bat. But the biggest person was Jazz Chisholm and Anthony Volpe. Anthony Volpe being a very undoubtedly 200 hitter, hitting it now. I believe he's hitting just high 200s now, low 300s. But I haven't checked the stats today. But he's now hitting 3 home runs, which is, I believe the most home runs he's hit in the beginning of the season is 3 in this time period. So it's different to see Volpe, doing this. And yes, I believe it has to actually benefit you, because if you're just trying to use the bat to change, because if you really can't make contact with the ball, the bat's not going to change anything. It's not like one of those bazooka wiffle ball bats you had when you were in 4th grade.
Yes. I have that is part of my thought.
It's more
on
of like
these
if
bats.
you swing the bat and you swing, and most of your contact's on more like in the zone of your, like by the logo, and you put the barrel there, it's going to help you out. Now, if you hit like Aaron Judge, where you don't need that, basically, you don't have to use the bat. Or some people are using the bat to think they're going to be better with it, and they're just completely.
Yes.
Or like who was the
listen
catcher used the other day?
This notion that scrubs on your Major League Baseball team who can't hit to save their lives are suddenly going to get this magic bat, this torpedo bat, and they're suddenly going to hit 30 homers a year. I think some fans are now just getting full of themselves. Yeah, let's give a bat to Connor Wong. Let's give it to him, and he's going to hit 45 home runs this year because of the torpedo bat. It's the magic bat. The hand of God came down and touched the bat. It's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I love the idea of the torpedo bat, which really makes me question these people with these analytics departments, these nerds who have just taken over baseball. Where was this idea 5 years ago? Where was it? Because, again, great idea from the Yankees. It's Belichick-esque to me, where he just looked at the rules. He didn't break a rule, but he rewrote the rule in theory. I mean, with this torpedo bat, I think it's a great idea. Hitters are going to hit better with it. Some want to stay. I mean, isn't Aaron Judge staying with his regular bat?
Aaron Judge literally said that he's going to stay with his regular bat. Now, a player that did say they would go to consider it is Giancarlo Stanton due to his elbow problems.
Right.
Giancarlo Stanton, the way he swings now, his change because of his elbows is because the way the pitchers throw the balls now and the way it's going on his bat, it's hurting his elbows. Now, that's probably if he does switch to a torpedo bat and if it helps him out, he'll keep it. If he doesn't, he'll go back to a regular bat and maybe fix his swing. But with these torpedo bats, just because you use them doesn't mean you're getting that big bazooka bat you had in 4th grade, our grade school era.
Oh yeah, you're gonna touch the bat and finally.
It's not like something you see in football. It's basically if you can still make contact with the ball but you're hitting it in more of a different area of the bat. If you use a torpedo bat, it'll work for your advantage. If you just can't hit the ball and you're like Joey Gallo who just strikes out, well, he's not even on the team anymore. He got DFA'd by the White Sox, but you're not gonna hit. I mean, Ellie De La Cruz last night used a bat. He went 4 for 5.
Ellie De La Cruz would do that on any other night with any other bat. We saw it multiple times last year. My point with these torpedo bats is just keep your expectations down, please. The Yankees were playing the Brewers. The Brewers pitching staff stinks. I'll ask Preston right now because he is Mr. Yankee. Name 5 Brewer pitchers right now. Go. Name them.
You got Fraley, and then you got Cortez.
Hold on. Whoa. What was that first name? Is that a made-up name there? I didn't hear it. See, now we got to look up the names.
No,
this is what I'm talking about.
I know I said his name right. Oh, hold on.
Freddie Peralta? Is that the one you're looking for?
No.
I mean, he's the Brewer pitcher that I know, at least.
You can put, what's his name? Oh, Brewers actually won today. They beat the Royals 5-0.
Oh, yeah, I did watch that game, yeah. Bobby Wood Jr., I trade for him in fantasy, and now he suddenly can't hit water if he fell out of a boat. I mean, I love how that one works. But, yeah, you can't name Brewer pitchers without actually
You really can't, honestly. Brewers got no pitching staff.
And the other one you can name, because you're a Yankee fan, is Nestor Cortez, who stunk.
I honestly thought that was a great outing by Cortez. He gave the Yankees some BP. I think it was deserved after giving up that walk-off grand slam to...
Yes. All I'm saying is, Yankee fans... keep the expectations down, please. 5 games.
We're at 4 games, actually, by the way.
4. You're at 4. You're going to be at 5. Well, calm down.
2 off days in 5 games.
It's a week.
I hate it.
It's a week.
We should have 6 games later.
Yes, it's a week. Calm down, please.
Well, I'm more interested about the Diamondbacks series. The Diamondbacks team is very good.
Sure.
I guess they are 3-2 now. They split with the Cubs.
Yeah, Yankees, Diamondbacks, yep.
Yankees lost tonight 7-5 off of Eugenio Suarez grand slam in the 8th inning off of Mark Leiter Jr., who should be probably DFA'd and sent off to some team in I don't even know what league. Sent him off.
This is the third. Is this guy terrible? I mean, if we're talking about him on a radio show about the Northeast,
he's not good. He's horrible. We got him we hired him from the Cubs. He hasn't done anything since. He's been blowing games.
I saw Eugenio Suarez tonight hit an absolute moonshot. And guess who was laughing tonight? Me. That was funny. Yeah,
were the Red Sox
really funny. You want me to talk about the Red Sox, Preston? Because I got a lot to say.
The Red Sox that are 1-4. Actually, I have a quote from somebody. Actually, I was talking to somebody on Sunday night, and
inside sources with Preston.
Inside sources, and I told her about you loving the Red Sox so much and how you thought they were going to do really well.
I still think they will.
And they do really well. And you said they'll win the champion, or at least the division. And I might have disinformation some of your words, but I'm going to keep it like that.
What were my words then?
I said that you thought they were going to win the AL.
I did not. I never said that.
Well, you said they were going to win the AL East. But
yes, that I said.
And I put that into the story, too. She said you're delusional.
No, I would think the person who thinks the Red Sox are winning the AL, they're delusional too. I said they could be a contender.
I quote, I said you thought they were going to win the East, and I said you were thinking maybe they are a contender for the AL.
Those are still my words today.
Red Sox right now, folks, are what are they? What's the Red Sox record? 1-4.
We played Texas. Well, I'm not doing this whole thing with records through 5 games.
You played the Orioles. The Orioles with a young pitching rotation. I think it's the greatest.
I'm not playing the record game. I'll
play the record game right now.
There's only one team I'm playing the record game for, and it's the team that's not in the Northeast Corridor. So I'm not going to play the record game here on April 1st. Like we're just not doing that. I'm going to play the game of we're going to wait and see. The things I want to get to with this Red Sox team that are just puzzling. One,
I'll agree with you.
Rafael Devers.
There we go.
What is going on there? What is happening there? Rafael Devers, who for months and months has preached to the Boston media, preached to anyone that would listen to him, that he wants to be the Red Sox captain. What was that? What were those first 5 games for the Boston Red Sox and Rafael Devers? Opening day looked great. Wilyer Abreu hits 2 home runs. They come back, 9th inning. You're sitting there saying, yeah, we got ourselves a baseball team, and Christian Campbell showed strides. Then we get to the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they just punt it. They punt the weekend against Texas, and they come back on Monday against Baltimore, and they look like garbage. They did. They look like garbage through the first 8 innings of that game. Listen. My point with this Red Sox team is Rafael Devers needs to pick it up fast. Still does not have a hit. Announcers applauding him for contact. In the middle of games against the Rangers, saying some of his plate appearances on Sunday where he actually made contact with a baseball were his best plate appearances of the weekend. It's ridiculous with him. They are paying him $35 million to play third base. Don't tell me, or play DH, or wherever they tell him to. If he's complaining about playing third base, I'm out. Done. There's no complaining. We are paying him $35 million a year to play wherever we want him to play. If Alex Cora says you're playing first, you better believe Devers should go over there and play first. If he tells him to play DH, he should be the DH. Enough of this Rafael Devers stuff. They brought in Alex Bregman. He is a better defender at third base. It was the natural move. You get less time in the field. You stay healthy at DH. It made all the sense in the world. And Rafael Devers walks into spring training like the almighty guy, puts his fists on the table and says, no, I'm playing third base. I'm the third baseman for the Boston Red Sox. Give it up. Give it up. It was the right thing for the team. And for a guy who wants to be the team captain. And let alone, the guy, again, is overweight. How does it happen every year with this guy? He actually showed up earlier this year to Fort Myers because he said he would be ready to go for the regular season and it would give him a better chance at opening day. What was that for an opening day? For Rafael Devers, who's been preparing for this now since January. Again, I am concerned with Rafael Devers. Yes, it is fair to say that at this point with the Boston Red Sox. That's the first thing I wanted to get to. Second thing, Garrett Crochet signs an extension. Right move. Right move on the board for the Red Sox. Some people saying it's an overpay. I don't care. I'm not the team accountant. I'm not in charge of the financials. That was a good move for the Boston Red Sox. They got the extension done early, which was something they didn't do with Mookie Betts, which was something they didn't do with Xander Bogaerts. Both those guys walked out the door at the end of it. They get on board with Garrett Crochet. They trade a lot of good prospects for him, yes, but they have a good ace now for at least 6 to 7 years. Yes, Garrett Crochet is the real deal. I'm happy they did this because if he went out this year, Preston, if he went out this year and he pitched like a Cy Young candidate, do you know what that contract would be in a year from now?
Oh, way more than.
Do you know what that contract would be in a year from now?
What does he get? $28 million right now?
Right.
Probably put it up to, I'd say about 40.
So you save yourself how much money a year? It's the best move on the board.
Was it 6 years?
6-year deal. Yep.
6 times 12, what is that on my head? 72?
That's very good. Yeah, so you save yourself $72 million, which can be which can be another impact player on your roster. It makes so much sense. They gave Garrett Crochet the extension at the right time. And I'm sorry, I'm spitting out a little here, but I do like the idea of Garrett Crochet on the Red Sox for 7 years. That's going to be a lot of fun. So my thoughts. I'm not panicking yet. Not yet. We're still in the first week of the season. We are in April, but Garrett Crochet gets the extension. Good. Rafael Devers, large human, and they can't hit a baseball right now to save his life.
Too.
Bad.
Yeah, looking at Devers right now, in the last 9 games, he's won for, I believe, 28. That last 9 games extending to September of 2024. So Devers is a little bit in a hole right now. You know, he was saying he wants to play third. I don't think he's going to get that. Bregman is a gold glove third baseman. He's a great third baseman. Way better than Devers. Way more athletic than Devers. And more of a, he's more athletic, I would say. And he's able to move better than Devers. So it's a great place to have Bregman. Don't worry about Devers. I think he'll get into his rhythm. Probably not till like May, but I mean, it's the best we can do right now. I mean, you're still the first week in the season. People do start off rough, but I've never seen someone, what is he, over 20 something right now?
It's something like that.
Like 17 strikeouts?
Yep.
He leads the league in strikeouts right
now.
now.
Yeah, it's a record for him with the strikeouts through this point in the season.
I think it's actually a record in the major league.
It is. It's a record all-time record. Yeah, it's insanity. How many times he struck out through his first many plate appearances through these first 5 games. It's a problem. It 100% is. His stance is so wide. It's like he is wide. You would think he's a hockey goalie with the wide open stance he has. It is wide open. He's got leg kicks all over the place. I don't know what he was doing in Fort Myers, Florida, getting ready for the season. I don't know if he took time off after they announced the Bregman signing. And my big pet peeve of the night is with the Boston media for not covering this story enough. There was a story here with Rafael Devers and Alex Bregman. How Alex Bregman came in and Rafael Devers suddenly the next 2 days does not go to spring training. Interesting how that worked and how the timeline of Devers got messed up by Alex Bregman. That story was not covered enough by the Boston media. And if it were me and I were down there in Fort Myers, Florida, covering spring training for the Boston Red Sox, that would have been my number one story. More important than Crochet, more important than the young prospects development. My number one story is they bring in Alex Bregman and suddenly Rafael Devers is nowhere to be found. And suddenly when it's opening day, he can't hit the side of a barn. I think that's a really good story.
Yeah, if you look at it right now, Devers has 15 strikeouts right now.
Yep.
And that's in 5 games.
That's insanity.
Also, just to not make you feel really bad.
Oh, you're going to make me feel really bad.
No, it's not against you. Hey, Twins fans, I hope you guys enjoy paying Carlos Correa because he is the second worst hitter right now in the league.
He's on my fantasy team, so no wonder why I'm in ninth.
So him and Devers are tied for 214th right now.
Yeah.
In the hitter standings. And that's just for the American League.
Yeah, and if I'm the Twins, I would have traded him, by the way. I would have traded for Gavin Correa.
I would worry about Marcus Semien, too. He's at 188. But
he's old, Semien.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone's Zach Durasic was like, "Oh my God, Semien's gonna have a breakout season." No.
Breakout season? He's 34. What
like,
breakout? What breakout is he gonna have?
Not breakout. He'll have a comeback season and put up all-star numbers.
Not breakout season. He's 34 years old. I don't know about breakouts at 34.
I mean, it's early in the season, but hold on. I gotta say something. Minnesota, saw your whole team. You got. So it goes from 190 to
I agree. They should be trading pieces. Agree. Right they should trade Correa. They should trade Buxton. Right. Guys like that. They should be
Buxton's in 200th right now.
Yep.
Matt Wallner is at 191.
Yeah.
Ty France is at, I believe that's 206. And Ty France actually, excuse me, I just had a little bit of...
I actually think Correa will get traded this year. That's one of my
I think the whole Twins organization will get traded. Twins got absolutely obliterated by the White Sox yesterday. Was it 9-0 or something like that?
I believe so. I'd have to look it up.
There's a kid in my class earlier today. I don't remember his name. I just started talking to him. I talked to him the first time. I think his name started with an A or something. Who knows? He's a huge Twins fan. He was talking all this crap to me. He's like, "Oh, it's early in the season." I'm like, "You are what are they 0-5 right now? Have they won a game
They're
yet?"
terrible. I was watching Correa swing.
Yeah, you're a Yankees fan, but you haven't won a World Series. I'm like, dude, you can't even win a divisional. You can't even win a wild card game. Don't talk to me before you can win a wild card. At least if you won some playoff games, then
I mean, if a Twins fan's talking, I don't know, get lost.
Yeah, Twins. Honestly, you guys are probably gonna be the worst team in the AL this year. I don't think you guys will do anything better. I genuinely Really
I don't know about worst team in the AL, but they'll be a contender.
Oh, they're 1-4. Excuse me.
I mean,
they're actually not the worst team in the league right now. Atlanta is at 0-5.
Well, I mean, Atlanta started with San Diego and LA. That's a tough start.
Really hard series. I think,
but no excuses. They should have wins on the board.
No, Freddie Freeman. He's not on the Braves, but he's on the Dodgers. He got injured. Got put on the IL.
Yeah, slipped in his shower. And re-aggravated the bad ankle. So that's not good.
I love Freddie Freeman, even though he hit that walk-off against us.
Still hit 2 homers to start the year. He's off to a really good start. In the World Series, he was Captain Clutch.
He just won the World Series MVP. He was literally the reason why the Dodgers won.
Yeah.
But right now, I know you're saying it's super early in the season.
It is.
And the Dodgers are winning 3-1 in the bottom of the 7th over the Braves. So Braves will probably start this year.
That's my point with the Dodgers. Like
the Dodgers are just
they
good.
Come back every night. Like it's going to be really hard to beat them. Like
I think what's going to happen is the Dodgers aren't going to lose to anybody. They're going to lose to themselves. They have to get it. The only way the Dodgers will lose is if they get injured. And you know what? It's too good to be true for the Dodgers with this good of a team to go back and break. They can probably break the win record right now with this team. They're going to be going 8-0. They're 6-0 right now. They're going to go 7-0. They're probably going to go 8-0. They're probably going to sweep the Braves. I mean, I don't see the Braves winning that game tomorrow. But they'll probably go 8-0 on the pace for 130 wins. MLB post, right? Like how they posted Judge going 216 home runs or whatever.
There's only one thing that'll stop the Dodgers.
It's injuries.
It's Shohei Ohtani getting hurt.
I wouldn't say it's Shohei.
Yeah,
I don't think Shohei is the whole reason that Dodgers team would fall apart. I believe.
Yes, if they lose the best player in baseball, yes, I think it would fall apart a bit.
I don't think. I think they won't be as great. But I still think they'll be a dominant. I think they'll still be the best team in the NL.
Be a playoff team. Yeah,
they'll still be the best team. No, they'll still be a World Series contender.
Yeah, I agree.
I think here's the thing.
You're taking away Shohei Ohtani, who's the best player I've ever seen.
Shohei Ohtani getting injured for the season for the Dodgers is not as detrimental as if Aaron Judge was injured for the Yankees. If Aaron Judge was injured for the Yankees,
I would agree because the Yankees roster is not close to what the Dodgers is. I would agree. I'm not going to debate that.
But I still think the Dodgers win over 100 games without Ohtani.
I don't know about that.
Maybe over 95. Definitely over 95.
Somewhere in there. I don't know about over 100. I mean, that's crazy.
But the only way the Dodgers would lose right now is if they shoot themselves in the foot.
Of course.
If they get Freddie Freeman's already hurt. I mean, I hope he stays healthy. I don't want to see that guy hurt. I love Freddie Freeman. He's a great guy, very humble dude. And now this ankle's already re-aggravated. What's going to happen after the season for him? He has to probably play very cautiously because you already got that. You don't want to go on another surgery for that ankle again.
Yeah, I think he will, but I mean, he nursed it last year. If it's not too bad,
he played on the World Series with a messed up ankle.
Sounds to me like it's just day to day. So I'm gonna trust it.
Sometimes things that happen day to day turn into IL stints.
No, I agree. But for now, what I've seen and what I've heard from reported, I'm gonna say it's just day to day situation.
Yeah, I hope he's okay. I wish him the best, but. I think the only 2 teams right now in the NL that probably compete with the Dodgers are the Diamondbacks and are probably I would say Padres.
The only teams that could compete in the NL?
With the Dodgers, like at the Dodgers level.
I don't know about the D-backs. I
think the D-backs had a rough... Okay, every year the Diamondbacks start off onto a little rough start. And last year, yes, they didn't win the playoffs last year. They only won 89 games. But... Mm-hmm. I think they started last year the exact same way. They played one series. They played iffy. They played the Yankees the next series, and then they lost 2 or 3 to that game. And then they basically played pretty well, and then they had that little slump in late August, early September, and then they kind of just were in and out of the wild card spot by the end of the year. So I believe the Diamondbacks don't come in that end of the year slump. They'll be probably a high 80, low 90 win team. They're a good team. I can see them knock out the Dodgers and again in the playoffs.
A lot of overrated there, in my opinion. There's a lot of overrated.
What you got to look at right now on that team is one Zach Gallen, because he is very
Zach Gallen. Yeah,
he's very up and down with his pitching. One day he's pitching, like a Cy Young. The next day he's pitching like an Nestor Cortez out there. So there's a lot of things with Zach Gallen you got to look at. Second off, I believe is.
You want me to give you my number 1?
I would say probably they're young stars.
How about Corbin Carroll? Why don't we start there?
Yeah, Corbin Carroll, I believe, is off to a great start this year. I think he's playing really well.
He like to the first few games, it was pretty bad for him, but he hit a home run tonight. And
then he played well in the game against the Cubs the night before.
He was meh. I mean, like, it wasn't.
You're not going to putting up Ellie De La Cruz numbers like he did last night every single day, but
No, I mean, like, we're going to act like he's playing. I mean, if the guy's playing great,
I'm not saying he's playing great, but he's playing better than how. He was in spring training, and that's kind of good for him. It just got to get out of that little slump.
I mean, that's awesome and all. I mean, Corbin Carroll had a nice spring training. I mean, but that's nice and all. But if we're going to say a guy's playing great, he has to be playing great. I mean, like,
I think he's playing.
Corbin Carroll last year, from what I saw, first half struggled big time. Second half, things got much better. He looked like the hitter that he once was. And he looked like he was coming back.
I think now that he has that adjustment, or at least knowing, like, hey, don't. I think maybe because you come off that.
Yeah, you just hope it is. You hope it is, and it's not a situation where you get into it like a guy like Julio Rodriguez, who was terrific, lost his forte and his majesticness, and really struggled last year, and really hasn't regained that form since.
Well, that whole Mariners team's something else right now.
Pitching's good.
Pitching's great. Hitting.
Hitting sucks. Yeah,
hitting's horrible.
Let's just call it what it is. It sucks.
I wanted to be a little bit nicer for the Mariners.
But it does. But
they're
Cal Raleigh was a one-year wonder. That was the definition of a one-year wonder. He's not doing that again.
Crawford's, nah.
Who are they going to bring out? Like Randy Arozarena? Like, come on, stop.
Rosarena.
Rosarena?
I
put on my New York.
Randy has his 2020 Linsanity run, and that was it. Or 2021 Linsanity run. That was it.
Can I get to what's bugging me tonight?
Oh, what is bugging you tonight, AJ? We got to get that out. Let's get out of baseball. Baseball we'll have next week for you guys, but let's get to what's bugging you.
Well, I mean, it is something. Dan Plesac came out with what I think is the worst list I think I have ever seen. If you go on Instagram right now, MLB Network, you can see it. It's Dan Plesac's top starting pitchers in baseball. Really a terrible list, in my opinion. I'll just give you the top 10 and tell you why. 1, Zach Wheeler. 2, Jacob deGrom. 3, Tarek Skubal. 4, Logan Gilbert. 5, Framber Valdez. 6, Paul Skeens. 7, Chris Sale. 8, Shota Imanaga. 9, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. 10, Garrett Crochet. So this is an interesting list so far.
Wait, it's on MLB Network?
It's on the MLB Network Instagram page. Yep.
What? Like a post or a story?
It's a post. This Dan Plesac in his top 10, his top 25. This is the worst list I think I've ever seen. Corbin Burns not in his top 25. Dylan Cease, no show, not in his top 25. And he has guys like Chris Bassett in his top 25.
No offense, I think DeGrom's a great pitcher, but he's not number 2.
No.
I think number 1 right now in the entire league is Tarek Skubal.
I think number 1 in the entire league is Paul Skeens.
I put Paul Skeens at 2.
I would put Paul Skeens at 1.
I think Paul Skeens still is.
I think Tarek Skubal is a one-year wonder.
I don't think it's a one-year wonder.
That season was dreamer-like last year. Yeah.
He plays. I mean, you said about a lot of people, but they turn out to be not.
Skeens is going to be a machine for years to come.
I think Skeens will definitely be number 1.
I think he's already number 1. So I'm just saying.
I don't think Imanaga.
Not even that. Skeens at 7 is ridiculous. Yeah. Not even having Corbin Burns or Dylan Cease in that list, ridiculous. Having a guy like Chris Bassett or like Jeffrey Springs in there, ridiculous. Insanity. So that's my beef of the week. Dan Plesac, get it right.
I'm looking at this right now. Luis Severino is not better than Max Fried.
Yeah, Luis Severino just got shacked tonight.
Why is he at 17?
I was watching him in Sacramento tonight. He was just giving up home runs. Like Kyle Tucker was taking him 500 feet.
Cubs won that game. What was it, 7-4?
Yeah, so again. These are all the stories that we wanted to get to this week. Next week, we'll be back here next Tuesday, Preston.
Hopefully, we have someone actually on the show for the first time. We get a guest speaker on. It was going to be, I'm going to rat him out right now. It was going to be Sebastian Fryer. He was on here back in earlier this semester when I was not here. But we were trying to get him back on here because I was going to talk crap about the Red Sox with him, to AJ, but he did not
Must have slept in tonight.
He slept in tonight. Had a little early night, but we'll get you guys back next week with some more topics and some more baseball, and possibly by next week the March Madness champion will be announced. So we'll talk about that maybe too. Who knows? But yeah, have a good night, guys. We'll see you guys next week.